Hi viewers, today we are going to discuss about the random number. Again on that, how we are going to work on different types of random values, especially to create the random number, how we are going to work on float, decimal, even odd numbers. So we will see all the details, and for that I already created a program in Python using VS Code, the random number dot py. So py is the extension of Python. Okay, so let's start. So to work on random number, first of all we need a module that is random. So we have to import that particular module. Okay, let's zoom this one. Okay, so here, so first of all I'm importing a random module so that I can use the whatever the look here random variable generator, right? So it's integer sequences bytes, so it's contain all the this module contain all the predefined functions. First we'll check random whole number between 1 to 10. Okay, so we are having a range 1 to 10. I am going to create the random number between that. So I created a variable random int. Okay, and then after I call the random module, and in that we are having a predefined function rand int. Okay, and here the first is a run, so first it's 1 and the end is 10. So between 1 to 10 the random number it is going to generate. So print random integer between 1 to 10 and red int. So here when I'm going to print, if I given f function, then we have to define, this is the syntax to define that variable inside the print statement. Okay, now the next thing I want random even number between 2 to 20. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So these are the even numbers, right? So how, what is the logic of that one? How to do that one? So here, before going to here, let's start range. So we have to range function. Okay, range function start. So the 2 is the start point, stop. So here stop should be one more than the last value. This is 20, so it is 20 plus 1, it is 21. Okay, and step, so always plus 2. So 2 plus 2 4, 4 plus 2 6, 6 plus 2 8. So this is the range. So between this range I am giving presenting the even number. Okay, so what is the syntax? So I created random even, a variable, the random module having the predefined function choice, and inside that the range function I defined to 21, as I mentioned 20, that is 20 plus 1, one more, and step over 2. Okay, so in this way I am going to print any random number between 2 to 20. Okay, again this is the print syntax. Okay, this is the printing syntax. So random even, I just call this random even here. Okay, now in the same way we are going to check the odd number. Here is 2 to 20, so here I am going to print 1 to 25. So same thing here, random odd, random choice, range starting is 1, ending is 25. Always I said start stepping by always the ending plus 1. So if I, my range is 20, then 21. If my range is 25, then range should be 26 and step over 2. So 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 2 7. So it is going to print the odd numbers between 1 to 25. Again I print this one. Okay, so these are, first of all we check the random integer value 1 to 10, then any random even number, then any random odd number. Okay, the next is that random choice is to select random element from a list. Okay, so this is very interesting. So I created a list of colors red, blue, green, yellow, purples. Okay, and here I want to randomly select any color, red or green or yellow or purple. So what is the syntax? So random dot choice, and inside here just call the colors list. Okay, so colors. So this, in this way you are selecting any random element from the list of colors. Okay, so this is another. Next move, generate a random float between 0 to 1. Okay, so how to do that one? So here, simple, it is very simple. Random dot random. So whenever I am going to write random dot random, it always going to print, because random is the default function. Nothing is going to define edge. Here we are mentioning some values, right? We are passing some values here. But here, if I by default, if I'm not going to pass any value, then it is going to give us a float number. So that's why random dot float, and that value should be between 0 to 1. So this is the default one. Okay, okay, so random float. Okay, now when I'm going to print, it will going to print, I think 7 to 8 decimal number. So that is 0 to 1 means 0.783456 or 0.732 6784, like that one. So it will print after decimal 4 to 5 or 7 to 8 numbers. But I want to define with after decimal only 3 or 2 values, max to max. So for that one, it is very interesting. Remember that one. So in this way, we are formatting up to 3 decimal values. Okay, so random float, here just random float, okay, colon dot 3f. After this means, it means defined that in this float variable, after the decimal, I only need 3 values. If I want 4, then dot 4. If I want to 5, dot 5. If I want to 2, then dot 2f. Okay, so in this way I constrained the number of decimal values after after decimal, how many numbers I want. Here I want only 3 decimal places, right? 3 decimals value. Okay, now if I want some random float numbers which is defined within a range, like here it is 1 to 25. Here we are having 1 to 10. So similarly, in case of float also it is the yes. Here I defined random decimal number between specified range, example 1.5 to 7.8. So how to do that one? Here I have another function, predefined function uniform. So whenever we are having a float range, I am going to define random dot uniform. Okay, the starting point 1.5, the ending is 7.8. Okay, this is the uniform for the float. And what about integer? It is rand int, starting and ending. And for float, it is uniform, 1.5 to 7.8. Okay, and I am going to print that one. Okay, here another interesting thing. Look here, 3 decimal places, right? Okay, so again another way I am going to round off the decimal places. Here I am just defined 2 decimal places. Okay, I am going to fill 2 decimal. Here 3 decimal places, I am going to define 2 decimal places. How to do that one? I am going to give a round function here. Okay, so random decimal 2, here this decimal number, here decimal 2, same thing. Here random uniform 1.78, here also random uniform 1.78, but I want with 2 decimal places. So comma 2 and round off. This is round off function. So then random decimal number between 1.5 to 7.8 with 2 decimal places, just call this number. Okay, so in this way we are defining different random variables, right? Random things. So I worked on, first of all I went through the integer with 1 to 10 range. Then again I'm going to range of even number. Again I go with odd number. Then after we worked on list. and any random value we selected from the choice, that is list, and for that one I give choice. Okay, and then float 0 to 1 random, and if having any specific range then uniform. And if I want to round up, then here 3f after decimal, if 3 decimal places or 2 decimal places, another way is round. Okay, let's run this program. So right click, run in interactive windows, clear. Okay, so let's minimize this one. 1 second, just give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to print this. Okay. Okay, here look, random int 1 to 10, so it is giving 3. 2 to 4, right? 2 to 4, it is giving random even number between 2 to 4, 14. Random odd number between 1 to 25, 17. And random selected color, red. Okay, here having index 1 it's taking. Look here, the random float 0. Look how many are there, right? So many things are there. But if I round up to 3 decimal places, then of 0.062 only. Again 1.5 to 1.78, it is giving something well. If I do to 2 decimal places, what is there? Only 3.7. 3.7, okay. 2 decimal places, 3.7. Okay, let's 3.7, right? Okay, let me two. Okay, again run this one. Let's run clear all. Again run this. Look, it is coming, right? 3.07. Okay, so it is round up to 2.8, means it is picking 3.07. So in this way, the 2.8 is almost 3, right? So 3.07 it is calculated. So in this way, we are go with different functions of random, integer, range, then even number, odd number, selected colors, and float with decimal restrictions and within range. So for that one, we're having here three functions: randint, choice with range, choice with range, then here the choice, and here the simple random value, and here we are having uniform for selecting any kind of floats. And again, if we round up to this one, we are giving a round of functions. Okay. Thank you for watching. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.